How's it guys? Chris here from Cowboy Rugby, giving my player ratings on the Springboks. Let's start from the front. Ox in chair, Lucid prop number one. Fantastic game. Work rate was phenomenal. He was all over the place. Helped the Springboks get some dominance at the scrums. Made lots of carries, cleaned a lot of rucks. I'm giving him a good solid 9 out of 10, even though he was on the losing side. Malcolm Marks, some good carries, good bounces, but a lot of issues at the lineouts. Started off really well, but then towards the end, Boks had a few line-out woes, and sadly some of that does have to do with the hooker. So downgrading him from an 8 to a 7. Thomas DeToy, unfortunately, scrummed really well, but didn't see much of him in general play. Had a few good carries, but not as much of an impact in loose play as what I would have expected. So giving him a 6 there. Rowan Nokia, fantastic work rate, all around the field, good in the lineouts, giving him a 7. Salman Murat, pitched up in general play a lot, scrummed really well, and mauled really well, hit a lot of rucks, giving him a good 7 there. Marco van Staden, some good steals, but not too much else there, so I'm giving him a 6. Ben Jason Dixon hit a few mauls, but also not quite as much impact as we would have expected. 6. And Jasper Visa, some good carries, but again, not his usual standard. So normally we see a much bigger impact from him. So going to have to go for a 5 there. I think he could have done a lot more around the field. Kobus Reinach, fantastically taken tries, some good solid work on defense. Giving him an 8 there. Really stood out for me. I thought he did fantastically. Andre Pollard equaled came to second highest point scorer for the Boks. Fantastic play off the beginning, but really kind of two halves. He started off fantastically, sets up a really good try for Fussy, and then just disappeared as the game went on, kind of lost impact. So I'm going to have to give him a 7 there. I think he could have, 7 for his play. If he'd carried on like that, it would have been maybe a 9. But sadly, he fizzled out and faded away. Makazole Mapimpi tried really hard, but didn't get quite as much ball as he would have liked to. Going to have to give him a 6 there. Didn't see as much of him as I would have liked. Lukanya giving him I think I'm going to have to go for a 6 there as well. Also, not as much of an impact as we would have liked to see. He and Jesse Creel were shut down really well by the Argentinians. Creel also 6. Kurtley Orense, another yellow card. That's becoming a bit of a habit. A few too many there, so I'm giving him a 5. And then Apelele Fassi, going to have to give him a 7 there. Really good at the back. Ran good lines, tried hard all night. Onto the bomb squad. They did well. Impact from a few of the players. Jan Hendrik Wessels wasn't on for too long, but he was hitting his lineouts well. Didn't really get to do as much as he wanted. Had a few good carries, but would have liked to have seen him on for a bit longer. But I think the game was just too much in the balance there for Rassi to take marks off earlier, which is a pity. Fresh legs would have been good with 30 minutes to go. But giving him a good 6. He did well, got hammered back once or twice, but tried his hardest. Gerard Steenkamp, didn't see too much of him, would have liked some more carries. Scrums seemed a bit shaky, so giving him a 5. Vincent Koch, also didn't see as much of him as I would have liked. Not as much of an impact at scrum time as normal, but the mauls and things were going well. Also a 5. Eben Etzebeth came on, made a difference, some really good steals, good steal at the lineout, some good carries, good hands, giving him a 7 there. And congrats to him for equaling Victor Matfield's record for the most Springbok caps. Great moment for him, and next weekend he's going to take that title for himself, move up to 128 Springbok caps. Looking at Ulrich Lowe, great work on attack and defense. He was good both sides of the ball, giving him a 7. Quacker Smith always tries his hardest. Not as much of an impact as usual, So going to have to go with the 6 there. Jaden Hendricks, some good box kicking. Not as much impact as I would have expected. Would have liked him to be a bit nippier and a bit less box kicking. I think we kicked away possession when we should have been holding it and trying to force our way upfield, and that might have cost us at the end. So I'm giving him a 5 for that. Marnie Libok ran the backline well. I probably would have scored him a 7, but I'm going to have to drop him down to a 5 for that missed penalty and for overcooking that kick to touch. Let me know what you guys think below and what your player ratings are. Keen to hear it. Hit like, hit subscribe, guys. Hope you enjoyed the game. I know it wasn't what all Springbok fans were looking for, but overall there were some positives, so we'll see what next week dishes up.